So these are the two inputs that we need for this test, username and password, right? So I want to test this particular scenario for multiple inputs or different inputs, right? So what I have done, I have written a data provider, right? Its name is get data. The return type of it is two-dimensional object array. Inside it, I have created a two-dimensional object array. I have put some values, right? So I got a pair of a value as a one record, right? So this is at the last there is a return statement, right? So this data is returned to this function or method. Since it has a two-dimensional object array, this is the return type of it, right? So now always write @data provider when you are defining a data provider method, right? And if you want to include this data provider, you should write like this in front of your test: data provider equal to the name of the method. Fine. And after that, you pass the variables or number of inputs, or in short, the size of the column is 2 here. So you should pass two parameters into this method, right? So what this data provider will do, it will provide the data and a row wise username password multiple times, whatever records it has. For example, it has 1 2 3 4 records, so this test will run 4 times. Fine. So this is what we saw till the last time. So if you run this, the same test is going to run for the 4 times, right, with different inputs. Now, so this was all about the data provider using array. So now what we are going to do is we are going to put these values into the Excel sheet, right? So better you look or consider this view, because ultimately we are going to store the values from the Excel sheet into the array itself. Fine. So these are the pairs of username password, pairs of username password, first row, second row, third row, and fourth row, right? So now what I'll do is I'll copy this program right from here, and yes, new Java class, data provider using Excel. Okay. Yes, I've copied this program here. Now what I'll do is I'll create an Excel sheet with these inputs, right? So let me just open an Excel sheet, right? So I have a Microsoft Excel. You might have some other format of Excel like OpenOffice or something like that. So let me just write username password here. Let's say USR1 USR-1 pass-1, right? You may write any username password over here, and I'll just have some records here. Fine. So now I'll create a folder in my project or a directory, say it is data, and I'll save this file into that directory. So for that I'll copy the path, and while saving I'll put it that way. So this is the path, and let me just give some name to this file. Let's suppose it is my data, Okay, so now again, while saving, you will find several formats of Excel sheets, right? So by default, it will be XLSX, right? Uh,
Mhm.
for implementing the data provider, from for taking the data from the Excel sheet, you will find some different formats, like the procedure for extracting data from the Excel sheet, which is having the extension .xlsx like this, is quite different than that of the file having extension .xls. Actually, data provider mainly support these two kind of files only, right? Especially. So first I'll show you how to do that with this extension .xls, right? I'll choose this.
Okay.
Now I'll save this, right? So now this file is here, right? So one more tip, generally what students do, uh, they create some file at some random place and then make the changes and then copy and paste it here, and somewhere in between the code, the path actually get wrong, or you may write the correct path but the changes you will make is in the older file, right? So that confusion get created. So for that I'll suggest you to create just a one copy of it. Don't save it here and there, right? Directly save it here, right? Or if you are creating a file at some other location, so after copying it here you delete that. That will avoid your confusion, right? So from
Okay.
where the data is getting
So,
picked up.
uh,
Yes.
so once we save it, you like you talking about if you want to update it, um, we
Yes,
need to open the file that we original files.
right, because the data is here on, right?
Yeah.
So this data we are going to pick up, right? What will happen if we have no data here, and I assume that actually if suppose here is the file, and let me just show you. So here is the file, and actually I made a changes here, and then I put or copied it here, but my actual file is having no data.
Yeah.
So that will create a confusion. So for that, I always suggest do not create a multiple copies, right? So directly create a file and save it to that data folder.
Okay.
Okay. So now next step is to read the data from the Excel sheet. We need some libraries, and those libraries are POI library. You search on Google like this, POI library download, and you will get this link, poi.apache.org, right? So you get this link.
So for a lot of things that we want to do, we will have to get the jars accordingly. Is it?
Yes. So now Apache POI. So from here you will get several links. You may click on this star or zip, right? So as you are on Mac, you may click on this star, or even I can do this because I have a software to extract it. And after that, I'll click here, and once it is downloaded, you will get several jar files over there. You have to open it. Actually, first unzip it, and then copy all the jar files, right? So let me just open it here. Actually I already downloaded it, and I might have already
Mm.
extracted it as well. So let me just see. Yes, here it is. I have extracted it. So upon extracting, you will find a folder. Here it is. Here there are some jars. Then there are some jars here as well. There are some jars here as well. So all those are supporting jars, right? So you have to put all of them, right? And actually I'll give you one more shortcut tip. So if you open this in your Explorer. So you in the search box, just in case, do you have the search box in your Mac to search the files? If you
Yeah, I do.
so here you type dot jar, so that all the jars will be here, right? So instead of going into each and every folder, so I'll copy this uh, and paste it here in my lib. Okay, I might have already the files also here. Yes, it says override. Some files are already there, right? So that comes with the Selenium only, but there are many new files that need to be added here, right? So
Mm.
when this process will complete, we will start writing a code. So what will be the steps, right? So let me just write down some steps for you. So to read Excel sheet, below are the steps. Okay, so the first step is read the file using file input stream class. Okay, so read the file using file input stream class, right? And then that file that we just read is in the object format, right? So convert the file object into workbook object, right? So actually workbook is a class which is mainly for the Excel sheet, reading the Excel sheet, right? So convert the file object into the workbook object, right? This is the second step. Then the third step will be, so as you open this Excel sheet, you will find that here there are some sheets, right? This is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So which is that sheet where your data is? So your data is in sheet 1. So you should choose the sheet. The third step is choose the sheet. Next, check or get the count of active rows in the sheet. Okay, so this will be the fourth step. You should get the count of active rows, right? So for example, here it is 6, right? So because we need to traverse it in the for loop, right? So the for loop will execute or run for the 6 times, right? So now, so traverse a loop, traverse a loop and read the individual cells from each row, right? So these are the steps that we need to execute, and we will write a code for it. The code is very simple, but it's just that you need to remember that, right? So these are the steps if you remember. So code is again not a big deal, right? Just one or two examples. If you practice it with your own, you'll remember everything, right? So what I'm going to do, I am not going to give or assign the values directly. So ultimately I'm going to do the same things, but instead of storing this directly from the string, I'll get these values from the Excel sheet. So for the time being, I'll just comment it out, and let us start writing the code. So first step is read the file using file input stream. So file input stream is a class that is used to read the file, right? So it is from Java only. and let's create the object of it. Fp is equal to new file input stream, and here we need to put the path of it. Actually it throws an exception, so you alter enter. Fine. And here you need to pass the path of the file. So from here you can pass, you can copy this path, copy absolute path. You can copy the absolute path, paste it here. So okay, so this is the full path. You may copy the relative path as well. Copy path like this. So this is also fine, and the earlier one was also okay. Fine. So the next is, what is the next step? Next step is to convert the file object into workbook object, right? So the class name of workbook is HSSF workbook. Okay, so HSSF workbook. Let me give some name to it. Let's suppose workbook is equal to new HSSF workbook and pass this object into it. Okay, again it is throwing some exception. You should handle that. You know what is the full form of this? I don't know why, but
No,
this is the full form. It
something
is
horrible. Okay.
horrible, horrible spreadsheet format, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why this name is given, but this is the full form, horrible spreadsheet format. Okay, so right. So we read this file as well as we have converted it into the workbook. Now the third step is to choose the sheet, right? So let us choose the sheet. So we have HSSF sheet, right? And let's suppose a sheet is equal to workbook.get sheet. Get sheet, and here you have to give the sheet name, and the sheet name is sheet 1, right? You can change the name over here also, and you can put that name, change name also here. For example, let's say login data. You can have space also.
I have a question.
Uh,
If you have something in a sheet one
uh,
and there's another data that you have in a sheet two that you need to also put
right.
there, can
Uh,
you put them both in the code in the
mm,
IntelliJ?
yes, we can, but we need to write the code separately for that, right? So
Uh-huh.
just see, if you are willing to pick up the data from sheet 1, so here I am giving the name, right? And this is what the name that I just gave to the sheet 1, right? I renamed it. So login data, here it is, right? So this object is now going to hold everything from the sheet 1 only, right? So if you want to have some data from sheet 2, so you should create another object of this HSSF sheet, and
And
huh,
or something.
and assign the different sheet, and then you can do the further coding according to the another sheet 1, right?
Okay. So you can then work with both
Yes, you
in
can
that
do,
case.
you can work.
Okay.
Fine. So now the third step is done, the second step is done. Yes, the third step is done. Choose the sheet and then get the count of the active rows in the sheet. So int, let's suppose row count is equal to, we have sheet dot get physical number of rows.
Oh, okay. So we have options there.
So get physical number of rows, right? So I think 4 steps are done. Traverse the loop and read the individual cell. So now we need to have this two-dimensional object array, and here the columns are fixed, right? So this is, what is this? Rows into column, right? So when we write an array, so in the array we have the first in the first square bracket we put the row count, and in the second square bracket we put the column count, right? So column, how many columns are there? So it is
2.
fixed 2, right? So this is not going to change. So you can put 2, or you can keep the 2 as it is. But rows may get changed, right? You may add some row or delete some rows, right? So that we can get runtime with this row count, right?
Okay.
The row count, I'll put it here. So this is how the object is defined now, data, right?
Oh, okay. So you just write row count. Okay.
Right. So now we will traverse it through the for loop. So for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than row count, I plus plus, inside it we will do the rest of the things, right? So now we need to pick up one row, right? And then the individual cells. So let us see how to do that. So we will define again a variable HSSF row, right? So row, I'll give name it as a row, is equal to, and this row is from this sheet. So sheet dot get row, sheet dot get row, and which row? You have to give the index, right? I. So whatever the value of I will be there, so that particular row will be selected, right? And we know that I is going from 0 to row count, right? So all the row count, all the rows will be traversed inside this for loop, and accordingly, based on the value of I, the row will be picked up, right? So now the row is picked up. Now we will try to get the individual cells, right? So to get the cell, we have HSSF cell, HSSF cell. Okay, so the first cell is belonging to the username, so I'll name it as username. This is just a variable name, so you can give any name, but I'll try to give some meaningful name. So first cell is for username. Again, this is a variable, row is a variable, you can give anything, but just to have user friendliness in the coding, I've given some meaningful name. So HSSF cell username, right? So this cell is from this row, so row dot get cell, right? And put the index of it. What is the index of this first cell? It is 0, right?
Oh.
So now just like this, we put the data of 0 0, we put the value in the data 0 0. We will do the same here. So data here, instead of 0, this is the row and this is the column. So for row, I'll write I, whatever the value of I will be there, it will be picked up, and the column is 0th, right? So for this I 0 I've written. Now here actually this username is in the form of object. This username is in the form of object. So we need to convert it into the string. So get string cell value, you have to write like this, right? So now we read this username. So similarly, we will read the password HSSF cell password is equal to row dot get cell. Now what? It is the first,
Yeah.
right? And then again data of I, right? So here this is the row value and this is the one. I 1 is equal to password dot get string cell value. Okay, fine. So in this way these two lines means data of I0, I1 is actually similar to this, right? So based on the value of I, this thing will be generated, right? So when the value of I will increase, like for 0 from 0 to 1, so you will get 1 1 over here, so like this. In the next iteration you will get 2 2 here, like this. In the next iteration you will get 3 3 here, so like this, and so on, right? So
Mm.
this array is going to filled up automatically, right? So now I'll just run this program and we'll just test whether we are getting the input exactly from as that of the Excel sheet or not. Fine. So let's run this. Right click and run. Okay. There is some error issue. Java.lang null pointer exception. So let me just check. Okay, get physical number of row. Why it is like that? Mm, login data. What if I don't have a space over here? Yes, again it is null pointer exception. I think it is not reading the file. Mm, Get physical number of rows. Okay, actually I changed it and I think I have not saved it. So let me just save it and run this. Yes, right. So it was the same issue. Actually, I created the file, I put the values, and I have not saved it. And since because of not saving this file, it has some blank record earlier, so it gave me the null pointer exception, right? So it's okay if you are getting some errors, right? Because you learn from the errors only, right? When you rectify it, you learn more, right? So now I got this. So have you got this? What was the issue and how we rectified it?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me just reproduce the same issue for you. Right. So I've made it blank. And earlier it
Yeah.
was the same, right? And after that, what we did, we put some data into it. And actually, I have not saved this file, right? And because of which,
Oh,
what happened is that when I run this program, it said test ignore or some error was there. There was an exception, a null pointer exception, right? Because there was no data in this.
okay. Okay.
Now
So it
when
was
I entered it, I'm saving it. So now it is saved, and let me just run this. You see, now we are getting the output,
okay.
right?
Okay.
So
But
tell
I
me,
didn't know you didn't have the data earlier there.
yes,
I thought you had.
actually it was there, but we didn't saved it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Fine. So tell me, are you getting this, or if you have any queries, so let me know. We will discuss.
No, I'm okay with it. I will do it also on my end. And then if I have a problem, I will tell you.
Okay,
You know,
fine,
yeah, because it's a lot here. Like, yeah.
fine.
So I was thinking I'll just create it on my end and see if I have any problem with it, then I will tell you.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So This is just with the two columns. What if there are more columns? So do we have such a scenario? Yes. So here it is. I'll give you one form. Let's do some practical example. So actually that was a dummy example, but we will do this uh, with some more inputs, right? So yes, here it is. So what we will do is we will open this URL, and here you will find there are four text boxes, and we will fill up this
Yeah.
with the help of data provider. Okay, so this is name, email, contact, and city. These are the four text box. What I'll do is I'll use the same Excel sheet, and I'll use the sheet too. So let's say name Amol, then Amol, email is, let's suppose Amol at gmail.com, some random number is there, and city is, let's suppose Pune. Actually, one more thing I left to tell you. Okay, I'll cover that in this program. Fine. So actually we are writing here get strings help value. It will only read the strings. If you enter the numbers, it is going to give me some problem, right? And also if there are some cells blank, then also there will be some problem, right? So we will address that issue here. So let's put some records, some more records. Let's suppose Anila, uh, Ashish, then uh, fine. So I'll put some random emails. Some random numbers. No numbers. There should be some numbers. Okay. So now I'll save this. So first we will see how to deal with this if you have a number, right? So let's save this. So I'll write the full code for this, for the implementation of the same. So let's create a program, right click and new Java class. Here it is. Uh, Data provider, uh, web page. I'll name it as data provider web page, right? So here we will write like this at the rate test. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll copy the same format from here, or let me just write it for you so you'll, so that you'll understand more. So public void, let's suppose uh, check page. Okay, so here we are going to open this page. So here it is, data provider. Where is that? Here it is. Fine. So this will open a browser, maximize it, and driver.get. It will just open this URL. So I'm copying this URL into this. Okay, so it will open this URL, and now let us just simply send keys, simply do the send keys. So I'm not writing the whole thing. I'll just directly write driver dot find element uh, by dot, let's suppose xpath. We have a shortcut for getting these, right? So let me just show you. Mhm. You just copy this thing, okay, and
Mm.
you go into the crow path, right click and say inspect element, and here
Oh,
go into the crow path, and click here, set driver command and appear, and paste it here, right? Delete this and paste it here, and inside this double quote where we need the actual xpath, you write xpath value, right, and put it as it is, keep it as it is. So just simply click here and click on the element. So
okay.
you will not only get uh, you'll not only get the xpath but also the whole command driver dot find element by xpath,
Mhm.
like this. So I'll just simply copy this and put it into my code, and I'll say dot send keys, right? So send keys, I'll be sending it from here, for example string email, then what it is now, string name, and then string email, string name, string email, then string number, and string, let's say city. So first one is actually the name, so I'll put it here. So similarly you just go here, select this arrow, click on the email, you will get the whole command ready here, right?
Mm.
So simply write dot send keys, then email, right? So for the next text box, click here, field is placeholder, okay, copy this, dot send keys, number, okay. So now on the next line, the last one, so I'm not going to do the rest of the things, I'll just fill up the check text boxes, so like this. So you got this, okay, so copy this and paste it here, dot send keys, and it is city, right? So now let's just write a data provider. So at the rate data provider, and here we will write some method, public object get data. You can give any name, but whatever name you give, you should put exactly in front of the test. So here data provider is equal to get data, okay. So now the same thing, file input stream, let's say fp is equal to new file input stream, right? So we will read the same file because we have used the data from the same file. So copy path, yes, so I'm copying the relative path, it is throwing exception, we should handle it. And yes, we read the file, then what is next, hssf sheet, hssf workbook is equal to new hssf workbook, pass this file object, right? Again, it is throwing some exception.
So
We should handle it. Yes.
when you create data provider, then you put the path of the file first to
Yes.
create a
Yes.
file string name.
Right.
Making it as an object, right?
Yes.
Right.
Right. So the next step is yes.
Two-dimensional array object. And
Sorry.
then, okay, it's like object two-dimensional array, right? I'm just looking. Yeah.
Two-dimensional array yet is yet to write. Right. I have not still written the two-dimensional array.
No, but you defined it up there. No object, double array, public object.
This is actually the written type, right? So for this, I'll advise you to revise one of the old session. It is the method returning value. You can search it in Google like this by Amol Uzagare. You will get my video in the first page only. Yes, here it is. So let me just copy link this and I'll put this here. So please revise method returning value session, right? So in that case you will not find a problem over here. So it is actually a method returning a value.
Okay.
Fine. So now, so we read the file we converted into the workbook. Now we will read the Excel. We will read the sheet HSSF sheet. Sheet is equal to workbook dot get sheet, and here the sheet name is sheet 2, right? So we are getting this sheet 2, right? Because the data is here. Now next thing is get the physical number of rows. So row count is equal to workbook dot get physical workbook dot get, what is happening? HSSF sheet workbook dot get sheet. Why I'm not getting the suggestion? Okay, this is not a workbook. This is sheet. Sheet dot get physical number of rows. Fine. And now here you define the object array. Object two-dimensional array. Let's say it is data is equal to new object row count, and here it is 4 now, right? Because there are 4 inputs or the 4 columns, right? Earlier we wrote here 2, now it is 4, right? So now we will traverse the for loop from integer I is equal to 0, I is less than what? Row count, then I plus plus, then I'll read the row first. HSSF row is equal to sheet dot get row, index is I. Okay, so now let just read the individual cell. So HSSF cell, right? So first cell is, let's suppose, name is equal to row dot get cell. So this is 0th cell. So like this we need to read all the cells 0, 1, 2 and 3, right? So now we need to put it into the data array. Data of I0 is equal to get, no sorry, name dot get string cell value. Okay, so similarly we are going to write the same thing for the other columns. So HSSF sale name, then it was email, is equal to row dot get cell 1, right? And data of I1 is equal to email dot get string cell value. Okay, so now again HSSF cell email, then number is equal to row dot get cell, put the value here 2, then number dot get string cell value, we will put this into data of I2, like this. And the last one, HSSF cell, let's suppose city, is equal to row dot get cell 3, then data of I3 is equal to city dot get string cell value, like this. Okay, so now here it is the complete code, but still after this for loop we need to return this data object, right? So this is the important step. Actually here you find the error as well. So missing return statement, it says missing return statement, so return data, right? So this code is quite ready, so we will try this. We should get some error. Here it is, java lang dot illegal state exception. So read it carefully. Cannot get a string cell value from a numeric cell. This is because here there are numbers, so we are trying to read these cells as a string, right? So now for that we have a method. What we will do is we will before we put it into the array, we will convert that. So
You did a try and catch, I think, in a video for this.
no, there is another way. Actually, try and catch. Yes, of course, that is a solution, but that is the other way around. I'll tell you the easy ways first. So name dot set cell type, then cell type dot string. You simply write like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So name dot set cell type dot string. So similarly do this for all.
Yeah,
Email
that's better.
dot set cell type, then number dot set cell type, then city dot set cell type string. So like this. So we may not get error here now. Yes, we can see the website is getting opened. So the first page is about to open, and you can see the first row will be picked up and the records are inserted. So the next round is started. The web page is getting opened, and upon opening it completely, once this processing will be done, data will be getting inserted. The second or the next one, third one, here it is. right? The third record is picked up. And the last one, so like this, the test is completed, right? So have you got up to this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. I'm gonna go over this and just follow your steps and create this in my machine,
Right.
in my IntelliJ.
There is one more quick over here. If suppose you may have some field blank, right? If suppose one of the field is blank over here, I'll save this and try to run this. Okay, it is working. Actually, in the latest jar, this thing is handled, right? So
Ah,
if if you just convert it into the string, so this is fine, right? Even if it is blank, so blank will be stored,
okay. Once you convert it in a string, so if blank is okay. Okay.
right? So the
Then
both,
that works.
yes, it works. So like this.
Okay, Amo.
Fine. So have you got this? The data provider
Yeah.
using Excel sheet.
Yes.
Fine. Then try
Yeah.
this. I'll share these two programs with you or whatever the things we have done with today. I'll email you
Mm.
and you try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that tomorrow morning.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Have a
Bye
nice
then.
day.
Good night.
Bye.